Hi beautiful people, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Ru. Now what we're doing today, it's more likely going to be a shorter reading because we're going to tap into the way your pet or an animal, but most likely a pet, perceives you and how they perceive you, just in general, how they perceive you as their owner, as their person, as their human. How do they perceive you, or how do they view you? Again, going to repeat myself, this more likely will be a shorter reading. So yeah, we have 3 piles for you to choose from. For pile 1, we have this pink duck. For pile 2, we have this orange butterfly. For pile 3, we have this sea turtle. It's like brown and green. Sea turtle. Okay, before we get into the readings, let me tell you what decks we're using for the people that want to know. So we're using the Elemental Power Tarot. We're using Cat Tarot. We're using the White Sage Tarot. And we're using Tarot Familiars. And we're also using, for advice, Affirmators. So yeah, whichever pile you are more drawn to, that will be your reading. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in your reading. Hi pile 1, if you chose this pink duck, this reading is for you. Now, disclaimer, this is going to be a shorter reading because I'm tapping into an animal. And animals or pets are very simple-minded creatures, you know, and they're not as complicated as humans, right? However, they do feel as deeply. So, but they're not as complicated. So let's get into it. So we have the 5 of Pentacles. We have the Knight of Swords. Oh, we have the 6 of Pentacles. And we have the Hierophant. Oh, I feel like this person sees you as somebody that, like, they see you very knowledgeable. Like, they're like, oh my god, this person is so smart, and like they know everything. Oh my gosh, like they're so smart. I bet they know how to like, I don't know, like I think this person is very much like, I mean, not this person, this animal, this pet is very much like, oh my god, like this person knows a lot. Like I swear they're the smartest person or like the smartest animal I've ever seen, you know, or met. I think they see you as somebody very, very smart and very like intelligent, and like you just know a lot of stuff. And I think that's how they see you. It's very sweet. It's very sweet energy. Oh, I feel like with the 5 of Pentacles, I feel like this energy is like maybe they wish they could communicate with you more, or like they wish they could like speak your language. You know, either because well, of course, like especially if it's an animal, animals make different noises, right? And us as humans, well, I'm doing this in English, right? But we can speak any type of languages or dialects, right? And because of that, I think they notice that there's like a barrier there, like a language barrier there, quote unquote, because I think they wish they knew how to speak your language, or they wish that you both could communicate in your own language. Yeah, I think they wish they could communicate with you. But I think they see you as very smart and like very like knowing everything and knowing all these things. And I think, yeah, and with the 6 of Pentacles, I think they feel very comfortable with you. They feel very happy with you and just very comfortable and just happy to be there. very curious as well. I wouldn't be surprised if they're a very curious animal when it comes to you, or when it comes to your language, or when it comes to how you communicate with other people. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if this animal notices you communicating with other people, like your friends, or like people around you, your family, or anybody around you. And whenever you communicate with them, I think they see that and they notice that, and they're like, oh my god, like, how does this person do this? Like, how does my mom, or how does my parent, like, how do they do this? Like, how do they do this? How do they communicate like that? And they understand each other? That's crazy. Like, it's like, I think that's how they see you. Like, whenever they see you interact with other people, I think they see you as somebody very, very smart, because they're like, oh my god, how do they do this? And I think it's very sweet. And I feel like they wish they could do that with you. I think they wish they could communicate with your language, which is very sweet and very cute. I feel like rubbing their belly could be significant. I feel like maybe they want you to rub their belly a little bit more. Yeah, I think they like when you rub their belly. So I think that's just like a bonus, like a little bonus tip there that they want you to know. Like, I think they like when you rub their belly. Or like maybe in the back of their head as well. Like, maybe in the back of their head, they really like that too. Because I'm seeing this animal, like these birds, and I feel like, especially with the duck here, like, you could own a bird. Of course, it doesn't have to be a bird, but I think maybe they like when you rub their back of their head, or like their forehead area. I don't know, but I think that could be like just a part. But yeah, I think they see you as very, very smart, and just very, very like, oh my god, this human is so smart. Like, I wish I could be this smart. You could be religious as well. I don't know, like, maybe they notice your religion, or they notice that you're very connected to that realm, or like that, like, maybe you practice spirituality, or you practice a specific religion, and I think they notice that. I think they really notice that, and I think they see you as very cool because of that. I don't know, they see you as very cool and very intelligent, which is very cute. So yeah, so now let's get, again, this was going to be a short reading. So now let's get, what type of advice would this animal give you, or like this pet that you have? What would they give you? What advice would they give you? What advice would they give you? Okay. Thank you. Oh, confirmation. Everyone's a teacher. Oh, they see you as so smart. They see you as somebody so smart. So it says, everyone I cross paths with is a teacher. In that moment, the ones who give me the fun lessons are the ones I call friends. The ones who give me the hard lessons I sometimes call a-holes. They've chosen a tough job, but someone's got to do it. So today I'm thanking all the a-holes. Thank you, a-holes, for playing the part and making me a better person. So yeah, I think they see you as very intelligent, and I think they want to remind you how intelligent you are too, and how you are teaching a lot. You're teaching your animal a lot, your pet a lot. I think they are learning a lot from you, and I think they want to remind you how smart you are, and how you're able to teach even animals how to do certain tasks or do certain things, yeah. But I think maybe they see you as a teacher, they see you as somebody, well, of course, again, repeating myself, but I feel like I sound like a broken record, but I do feel like they just see you as very intelligent, somebody that they can rely on, and that they can learn a lot from, and you're teaching them a lot. And another thing that they want, I think they want to let you know, is that they want you to trust them when it comes to choosing maybe your partners, your friends, or any type of people that you're around. If this animal reacts kind of aggressive, or like kind of like resistant to this person, note that, like, understand that. I think that's very important. I feel like the way they react to maybe a new person in your life, or a new friend, or anybody in your life, and the way they react is going to tell you if this person is a good person to be around. You know, I think you have to trust them when it comes to that. The way they react to this person could bring a lot of awareness to you. And I think they want you to know that. It's like, if, like, for example, if you have a cat and this cat hisses at somebody new in your life, and they hiss at them, don't think it's because it's somebody new. No, it's because I think a lot of the time it's because they don't vibe with this person, and they're like, I don't think you should be around this person. I think this animal is very intuitive, and I think they're reacting that way because they want you to know, they're communicating with you that this person is not it. You know, like, this person, you shouldn't be around this person. You know, so yeah, I think that's one thing that I think they want to communicate with you, is like, if however they react to new people, note that, understand that, and take it to consideration when interacting with these new people. Yeah, because I don't think they want you to get hurt, and I think they're protecting you at the end of the day. I think they're very much protecting you. So yeah, I hope I'm going to end it there. Thank you so much for watching. I hope it resonated. I'll see you in my next, hopefully. Bye. Hi, Pio 2. If you chose this butterfly, this reading is for you. Because you chose the butterfly, this could be maybe insects, or some type of insect, or some type of that type of animal. Doesn't have to be, could be anything. A little disclaimer though, this might be a shorter reading than my other ones, because they're animals, and animals are very simple-minded, very simple creatures. They're not like humans in that way. Humans are very complicated. However, animals feel as deeply as humans. I do truly believe in that. They feel as deeply. However, they're just a little bit more simple-minded. Okay, so we have tarot cards for you. So we have the Knight of Pentacles. We have the High Priestess. Okay, yeah. The Nine of Pentacles. Knight and 9. Knight and 9. We have the 9 of Cups. The 9 of Cups. And we have the 9 of Swords. So 9 could be very significant. Again, another mini disclaimer. I'm more likely only going to tap into one animal that you have. If you have more than one, then you can choose another pile. But however, I'm only tapping into one. However, you could have more than one. That's why I'm saying that, because a lot of 9s are here, and I wouldn't be surprised if you have more than one animal. However, I think if you have a cat, I think that's who I'm tapping into. With the High Priestess, that's very much cat energy. So I could be tapping into them. Confirmation if they're a white, brown, or black cat. However, I feel like the way they see, I feel like they see you as a very hardworking person. I think they also see you as somebody that feeds them and like takes care of them. I feel like they're very happy that you take care of them and that you feed them and that you care about them. But I also I feel like they see you as somebody very hardworking. And I feel like sometimes, with the 9 of Swords, they see you maybe a little bit stressed. And I think they notice that. I think they notice your stress. And I think they feel it with the High Priestess. I think they feel your stress, especially if you have stress, right, in your life right now. I think they feel it. And I think they of course, they might not understand where it's coming from, but I think they know that you're stressed. But I think they're like happy that you still feed them and that you still take care of them. That's why, again, this could be more than one of your pets. But yeah, I do think they see you a little bit stressed sometimes, or like maybe you don't sleep at often. Like maybe you wake up before them and they get kind of confused, you know? Like maybe if you sleep with, like, if your cat sleeps on your bed, or like if your animal sleeps on your bed, I think you wake up before they wake up and they get kind of confused. Because maybe I wouldn't be surprised if there's like a different sleeping routine that you have, that they just notice that it's going on right now. But then again, going back, they're just happy that you're still feeding them and that you still take care of them. But I do think they notice your stress, and I think they notice that you could be a little bit up in the air right now. You might not, and then again, no shame here, right? But you might not be paying attention to them as much. But I don't think they care. I think they just notice that you're just out of it sometimes, and I feel like you give them enough attention that they're okay. However, I think they do notice that maybe the attention has been going down, because maybe you're picking up more hours at work, or you're just working. I feel like it's something about working, especially with the Nine of Pentacles. It's like something about working, or maybe school, or just something that gets a lot of your time regarding maybe income. And I feel like they notice that you're not as attentive as you used to be. But I don't think it's something that they feel bad. I think they understand. I don't think they feel like jealous, or like they don't feel upset. I think they're just happy that you still remember to feed them. I don't know, I don't know if you forgot one time, or you forgot to feed them one time, which is understandable, especially if you have a lot of stress. But I do feel like they're just happy that you remember and that you're there with them, that they're not alone, because I think they like you there. I think they like you being there with them, even if whenever you are stressed. I just heard about movies, something about movies. So maybe whenever you watch a movie on your TV or something and they're right beside you, I wouldn't be surprised if they're watching it with you, or they just like the noise, like maybe the noise of movies helps them go to sleep or something. Or maybe before you go to sleep, you put on a movie or a show or something, and whenever they see that, they know it's time to go to sleep. But I think, I don't know, they like that. I think they just want to let you know that they like that. They like that you put that on, because it's like helping them understand that it's time to go to sleep. Or it's just, I think they just like the noise. I think it helps them like feel calmer to go to sleep. But yeah, I think that's the vibe here about your animal or animals, because I wouldn't be surprised if you had more than one. I think that's the vibe here. I hope, again, I'm saying this again, this is going to be a short reading, and I hope that's okay. Let me get an advice deck, and let's ask what advice would your pet give you. Let's see, I kind of want to let's use the affirmators one, because I think this has animals as well. So I kind of want to see what type of advice would your pet or pets give you, or animals that you have. What advice would they give you? Generosity. I give generously to those around me, no matter how much or how little I have. I know there's more than enough to go around, and that the key is to allow it to keep going around without stopping. If I stop the flow, I'm the one person at the stadium who doesn't do the wave. Yeah, and I think this is confirmation that they're just happy that you're generous towards them, and they're just very thankful for that. And I think the advice that they want to give you is like, don't ever stop that. Don't ever stop being generous. To them, and probably like to other people, and like other, like just in general. But also don't forget to be generous to yourself too, you know, because once you're generous to yourself, you can be generous to other people as well. So I think that's just an like a little bit more advice of like, don't forget to be generous towards yourself, because being generous towards yourself could help you be generous towards other people, towards your pets, right? But I think this is confirmation that they acknowledge your generosity, and they're very thankful for it, right? But I think they want to remind you as well. It's like, don't forget to be generous towards yourself too. Yeah. Even if there is like, it's like things are changing around you that could be very unpredictable or very like unexpected or just overwhelming. I think they kind of see that you are very overwhelmed right now. But I think there is this energy that they just want. I think they want you to be patient with yourself. They don't want you to rush anything. But don't forget to feed them and don't forget to take care of them. So yeah, I hope this resonated. Thank you so much for watching. I know this was shorter, but thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next, hopefully. Bye. Hi, Pile 3. If you chose this turtle, this reading is for you. Automatically, I do your pet could be aquatic, or like that live, like they might need water to survive, basically. Okay, so disclaimer, this might be a shorter reading than my other ones because, well, animals in general are very simple-minded creatures, right? And it's just, they're not as complicated as humans per se, you know, like they're not as complicated. However, they do feel as deeply. I said this in my last reading as well. They do feel as deeply, but they're not as complicated as humans. So let's get into it. So we have strength, we have judgment. Ooh, okay. We have, what is this? 7 of Cups, and we have the Ace of Coins, or the Ace of Pentacles. Are you thinking of getting another animal? This energy is very much this. Either, okay, this is what I feel. Either you just got a new animal, like a new pet, or you're thinking of getting a new pet. So either or, any, like this could resonate. But yeah, I do feel like this might be like, maybe you feel like you're in a new chapter in your life, that you're like, maybe I should open my horizons to a new pet, or maybe you have opened your horizons to a new pet and this is a newer animal. So whatever the case is, I do feel that this new animal that you have, that you just adopted, or that you just got, of course, because we all know that, like, especially if you're a cat owner, sometimes we don't have to adopt them, they just come to us. You know, sometimes we got lucky with the cat what's it called? The cat I don't know. But it's like a lot of the times, like my cat, the cat that I have, she just came to my yard and we kept her as a kitten, right? We kept her. So a lot of the times it just happens like that, right? Sometimes we do adopt. So whatever it happens, I do feel like however you get this animal, I do feel like the beginning of getting this animal, you might spoil them a little bit. Like you might spoil them a little bit, because it might be your first animal in a long time, or you never had a pet before, so you really want to do this right. And I feel like, especially if you already have it, like you already have this pet, and it seems like you're very much like trying your best to do it right. You want to give them all the shots that they need. You want to protect them. You want to teach them right from wrong. You know, you want to do as much as you can as a pet owner, right? And I feel like the way they view you is like, I think they see you as somebody that's very much like, girl, what are you doing? You know, like, I don't need all of this. Like, I don't need all this stuff. I can, you know, I'm very cool. Like, it's cool. You know, I'm very happy to be here. I'm very chill. You don't have to force anything. let me come to you. Because it might be like maybe you got a new cat or a new animal that's maybe already an adult. Maybe it's not a kitten, like, or like it's not a baby. You got this animal when it's already an adult. So maybe they need time to process everything. They need time to really get comfortable in your space and get comfortable with you. Or if you haven't gotten an animal, maybe this is your sign that you should get an adult. But you don't have to, like, you don't have to, like, you can get a baby if that's what you want. But I think if you have gotten an animal and they're more likely an adult, if they're not an adult and they're just a kitten or like they're just a baby, I think they still view you as somebody, like, as no, if they're okay, now I'm getting another message. Like, if they're a baby, they might want a sibling, especially if they're only one. They might want a sibling. But if they're an adult, I think they kind of see you as like, why are you doing all this? Like, it's not, you don't have to be too, like, you don't have to be dramatic. I think they're coming off as that. Like, you don't have to be dramatic. Like, let's chill. Let's chill a little bit. Let's get to know each other. I feel like your animal, like your pets, very much, let's get to know each other. Let's take this slow. We don't have to rush anything. And I feel like you're very much like, I want to give them the correct food. I want to give them this, like, which is okay. Like, it's not wrong. Take care of your animal, especially like, because you want to genuinely, like, you want your animal to be healthy, But I think your animal or like your pet is very much like, you don't have to be that dramatic. Let's chill for a little bit. Let's get to know each other. And I think they don't want you to be too dramatic about it. Like, they don't want you to overthink it. They just want you to chill, and they just want to, like, genuinely, like, get to know you. They want to, like, build a bond with you, which is very sweet. That's why I think this might be, like, a newer connection. And with the pentacle here, I do feel like maybe they might be a little bit older than a baby. They might be an older animal. So they might be a little skeptical to get comfortable around you, or they just need time to get comfortable around you. And you might be thinking, or like, either you already have that animal and you're thinking of getting a new, like a kitten or like a baby, or another type of animal with this cat, or like with this animal. I keep saying cat because there's two cats, but that doesn't have to be a cat, right? But I think this animal, like, maybe you already have an animal that's an adult, but you're thinking of getting a baby, like another type of animal, or like the same type of animal, but a baby, because you want another one. So whatever it is, right? And I think they don't want you to overthink it. Like, if, but if you have a baby pet, like if you have a pet that's a baby, I think they want a brother or a sister, like they want a sibling, right? Because I think that's just their vibe. But of course, there's a lot of different aspects to this one, but yeah, I think they don't, like, I think they see you as somebody that overreacts or overthinks about them a lot, and I think they just want you to chill. I think they just want you to chill, because they like that they're around you. They like that you adopted them, or they like that you are taking care of them, like they feel happy around you. And I feel like with the judgment here, I wouldn't be surprised if they want to communicate with you a little bit more, or like they want to try to communicate with you. Maybe they if they're a cat, maybe they meow a lot, or if they're a dog, they bark a lot, or any type of animal, they do that noise a lot. I don't know, like if you own a lizard, for example, or like a spider, I don't know if they make noise, but like maybe whenever maybe they do make noise, but maybe not vocally. Maybe they still make noise though, but they might be a little bit noisy. This animal might be a little bit noisy. But I think if they're being noisy, I feel like that's their way to communicate with you. So I don't know, just take that with a grain of salt. But I think that's the way that they communicate with you, by like vocalizing a lot, or making a lot of sounds or noises around the house or around where you live. I think that's just the way that they communicate with you. Okay, let's get some advice that this pet would want to give you. What advice would they give you? Let's do one more shuffle. What advice would they give you? What advice would they give you? Communication. Confirmation. Yeah, I think communication. So yeah, I think this is just confirmation what I just said, but let's see what it says. It says, wonder how that other person's feeling? Ask them. Wish they knew how you were feeling? Tell them. You're just being drafted into communication army where is a strict do ask and do tell policy. Speak with kindness and gentleness and reach an understanding. If you don't, assumption will just make asses of everyone, including the person who came up with the aphorism. What is that aphorism? What does aphorism mean? Anyway, but I think this confirmation what I said about the communication. I think that's if they make a lot of noise vocally or just like by tapping or doing just things on purpose, I think that's their way to communicate with you. Even if it's not on purpose, I think they like doing that to communicate with you. But I think there is a need to like communicate with each other. Not like that sounds so weird because it's an animal, right? But I think I think the advice that they want to give you is like don't rush getting comfortable around each other, especially if this is a new animal in your house or a new pet in your house. I think they don't want you to rush anything. But I think they just want you to know, like, whenever they make those type of noises and everything, that's them communicating with you, and they want to communicate with you. You know, they like communicating with you. They like being around you. And I think they just want, like, I think they want you to understand that it's okay to take care of them and go, what's that saying? Like, go beyond taking care of them. You know, I think they're very thankful that you're taking care of them. However, I don't think they want you to do a lot, you know, and I think maybe that's what they're communicating with you. Like, they don't want you to do a lot. They don't want you to overreact about situations. Like, everything's cool, you know? Like, they're strong enough to live, right? They're strong enough to survive, okay? Like, you don't need to do a lot, right? They're strong enough to deal with everything. So yeah. So yeah, I think that's what I have for you. Thank you so much for watching. I hope it resonated. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next, hopefully. Bye.